What a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by The Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, and Ranty Flat Earth. Good to have you all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, what?
You're sounding like you're in a tunnel, Travis.
Yeah, I'm on my Bluetooth, so it's probably not as clear as
No
Clear as
kidding.
crystal. Right, let's rattle through some housekeeping. Any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
No.
No. My belly's getting bigger, though.
No. Always going to be of the Earth-based variety. Any signs of axial rotation?
The wheels on the bus go round and round. No.
Round and round. Nope.
What about a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Absolutely not. That's the claim, of course, but no evidence to suit. Therefore, we can apply Hitch's razor. That which cannot be provided with evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
I can hardly hear what you're saying, Anthony. I don't know if you're a million miles from your mic or what.
Sorry. Ignore me. Carry on.
What about the presupposition itself? Any signs of
No.
Nope.
What about gravity? Any proof of that?
Nope.
Nada.
Distance to the sun?
No evidence whatsoever of the distance to the sun. Waiting for Simon. No Simon Dan. Get back and address that one. There's rhetoric without absence of evidence and absence of science. Given that he's Simon Dan, I would expect there to be plenty of science and evidence. But at the moment, nada.
I figured out why you were so distant. It was Travis cutting your mic completely. So, okay, we've left the best to last. What about any signs of evidence of gas pressure without a container?
No, but I am going to be doing a test on that on Tuesday.
Oh, really?
Yes. I am going to take a wheel to a garage and ask them to put pressure around it, 28 psi, without a container. So essentially without the tyre. Because I want to be able to drive my car with the 28 psi around the wheel, but I don't want to have it encumbered by the fact that it has a container. So I'm going to ask them if they can do that for me.
I totally agree. I mean, essentially the air is very cheap. Very, very cheap indeed. And the tyre, that's really expensive. So if you could just have the gas pressure without the tyre, I mean, that would save you a fortune, right?
It would. And literally, I mean, I'm sure it's possible because obviously we get told that this is a possibility with the heliocentric model. So I want to see if experts in this field that do this for a living can actually give me the air pressure that I want without the container.
Right, I might do a similar thing and go into what the Americans call Home Depot or Staples, as we have here, and say, what I need is some of those compressed air cans for cleaning a computer or whatever. I just want it without the can. Just the compressed air, the cheap bit, not the expensive can bit.
We can try, we can ask, we can see, we can do our own experiments on this and let's see how far we can go.
I think that'd be hilarious to have this be the new Flat Smack.
I'm going to go to Asda or Walmart, and I'm going to ask them for a tin of deodorant, but without the tin. I'm going to see how that one works.
A tin of what?
Deodorant, but without the tin.
Yeah, they'll just give you a roll-on.
Oh, damn, that one won't work.
Nathan thinking out of the box there.
That was pretty good.
So yeah, so that's obviously been the topic of conversation for the last couple of days, and it is a space destroyer. We definitely know we've got gas pressure, we're all breathing it right now. None of us have experienced the vacuum of space, and you definitely need a container if you have gas pressure, which essentially draws a big fat line through the notion of space as a vacuum. We've been lied to. Misrepresentations of space are everywhere.
Yeah. So why do we have this gas pressure, gentlemen? We must be living inside the container. We must be.
See, I don't see it necessary to actually make any assertions in that regard, because I don't know that part of our world, in the same way as I'm more than content to say I don't know what the sun is. Well, I don't know. If someone says, oh, right, that means we've got a dome. No, I'm not making that assertion in the slightest. I have no idea. I'm not making any assertions. However, there is an assertion, it's standard science, always in quotation marks, that we have the vacuum of space. But I only experience gas pressure, and every practical demonstration you can show me requires a container to have gas pressure. So that being said, space isn't real. There is no space, it's nonsense. But if you want to assert that you have a vacuum of space next to the gas pressure I know and love, then you need to show a practical demonstration of gas pressure without a container. And you're never going to do it. Entropy's a bitch if you believe in space.
Well, what I can do is I can show you a practical demonstration right now of censorship, seeing as this is what the title of the debate is. If you want to pop my screen on, Nate.
Well, just before you do, let's put this into context so that the dumb people that are in chat, known as ballers, understand what's going on. Chocolate. But yeah, I delete comments that are generally rude or unnecessarily curt. Generally because I don't see any need for the vitriol. If you're going to say something properly. Don't say it like a retard. So I do delete comments, but I get criticised for it, and I don't really care. It's my channel, and I'll remove what I want because most people are just dicks. However, Facebook, they shouldn't really be deleting comments unless they are of the same kilter. So go on, Ranty. Let's just see how Facebook are behaving at the minute.
Okay. Let me know when I'm displaying, Nath.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so this is my Facebook page, Ranty Flat Earth, and this is a gentleman that I'm friends with called Johnny Level. Maybe a lot of you haven't heard of him, but he is quite popular. Now, it appears that not just him, but basically this is just the fact that I just happen to have his page open. Now, this is a meme. You know, these are essentially memes about Flat Earth. What happens and what Facebook have started to do within the last 24 hours, that if you click like on any of these images, these memes now, they will disappear after you've liked them. So let's go to one of the newest ones. We've got plenty of stuff down here. So, right, okay. Justin Boney has just put this meme up here. So if I press like now, and then I refresh the page, so I've liked it, yeah? So now that I've liked this, when I now refresh this page, it will disappear. It will be gone. I'll come all the way down. Justin Boney replied, one reply, oh, it's disappeared, right? It is now no longer there. The same is, let's go up a bit. Let's click this one. The earth is flat, blah, 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 blah. 4 hours ago. See how nobody's liked it? They've deliberately not liked it because essentially they've been deleting the meme, deleting his memes, and people have put these up so that he could get them back. Now, if I like this and then I refresh the page again, watch what happens. Again, that was called The Earth is Flat, and look, it has disappeared. 4 hours ago, I liked it, and it disappeared. Where is it? Where did I like it? Anyway, it is no longer there. The meme has disappeared. It is gone. Pick one of these three, Anthony.
Hey, Ranty.
Yeah.
go to your activity log and see if it shows that you liked the page. You know how it shows everything that you've done? See if it doesn't include it there as well.
Oh, I don't know. I've not decided to look into that. But this is what we're showing right now. I'm demonstrating censorship right now on Facebook. This is flat Earth memes that if you like them, Facebook will remove them. It really is as simple as that. Here we have this one with a balloon, which is the third image from the top, so from the bottom. So I'll get rid of this one by liking it. So if I like that, Derek Small posted that, and then I'll refresh the page again just to show you guys. And look, it's disappeared. There's the blue one. The one above it, which was this one, which I like, Shane Ranty Cook. You can see that there is no longer the image there.
So if that's not censorship, what is it? And why are we living in what appears to be a censored environment now? Free speech seems to have died.
But the thing is, this is happening all over Facebook. All the flat Earth groups are getting this, being targeted with this. People that like the memes, they're disappearing. Now, this is one thing after another. We've had things on Twitter. People are losing the stuff on Twitter. They're also being censored now on Facebook. And it is a massive, massive, massive thing. Because if this is what happening, this is what happened to free speech.
And this censorship really is disgusting. I don't mind deleting comments that are vulgar, but these aren't even vulgar. What's going on?
In fact, I've actually liked the comment. So if I like the meme, that means that they've got an algorithm in there that if anybody clicks the like on it, it takes it away if it's referenced with flat Earth. Now, I don't know whether it's happening with every single meme, but I do know that it's happening to people that are talking about flat Earth.
Tube Tinker is asking questions, and to be honest, I'm not prepared to even answer them anymore because ultimately you could join the Hangout and you could debate these points with us. So what are you doing in chat? If you want to know the answer to your question, join the chat, the Hangout, and let's have a chat. If not, I'm just going to ignore you. You can't have pressurized gas without a container. End of discussion.
Can hardly hear a word you're saying, Anthony.
I don't know why. How loud am I on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay.
You're fine now. You're fine now.
Right.
So anyway, I don't want to click any more of these because people have reposted the memes so that Johnny Level can actually download and keep them. So every time I click like, it basically gets rid of it. So I'm not going to do any more. I've already done 3. But that's just showing you guys in real time what's actually happening on Facebook now and how they are censoring free speech, especially free speech in regards to flat Earth.
Good stuff. Thank you for showing us that. I'm sure they won't mind you wiping out a few on a live broadcast that demonstrates that they're wiping out memes. So, yes, I see what you're saying. You don't want to do any more, but you've shown it. It's been demonstrated. So, thank you very much.
No problem.
Nathan, I'm struggling with Tube Tinkerer. He's asking, prove the container, then we'll debate. Why does he not understand that the pressure itself proves that there must be a container? Why is he not getting it? Is he stupid?
Yeah, well, that's why the question is phrased as it is. You know, show us a practical demonstration of gas pressure without a container. It's easy to demonstrate gas pressure with a container. Dead easy.
So, Nethio says, you live in 14 psi and it's 5 psi at the top of Everest. So the 14 psi doesn't have a lid. Yeah, it doesn't have any walls either, does it? So how is it that we have pressure if we're not in a container? Well, anybody?
Yeah, so the question is, demonstrate gas pressure without a container. Not how do we have. I don't know how we have anything in regards to the gas pressure, but they assert that we are living in an open system next to a vacuum. So it's not our prerogative, it's not our position to prove something we're not asserting. The reason for the question is because there is an assertion, a standard assertion. Space. Everyone believes in space, right? A vacuum out there beyond the gas pressure we live in. Right. I say nonsense. No, we don't. Space is fake. There is no vacuum of space. It's all rubbish. So, if you want to assert that it's true, you need to show a practical demonstration of gas pressure without a container.
Waz says, you need to explain why the atmosphere doesn't act like it's in a container. Well, actually, Waz, I'm going to show you Tube Tinkerer admitting that it does act like a container. So, Waz Was against Tube Tinkerer needs to happen, because Was is saying that it doesn't act like a container, and Tube Tinkerer thinks that it does and admits that it does. So let me get the comment up before he deletes it. Let's see if we can get this done quick. I think it's on. Here we go. I may have to quickly screen share this. Have I been kicked?
Yeah, you've been kicked.
Just it went dead silent for a minute then.
Am I waiting to share you?
I'm just trying to find it quickly before you remove the comment.
So while you're doing that then, so I'll just repeat exactly what I've said a second ago, which is to say that there is an assertion on the table. There is accepted quote-unquote science, and that science says that we have space, a vacuum. Now, I've never been there, but that's the assertion. We've got a whole bunch of crap going on in space, apparently. Well, what I do experience is gas pressure, and every single practical demonstration I've ever experienced ever of gas pressure required a container. So if you are to assert that we do not require a container, I would require a practical demonstration of exactly that. Gas pressure without a container.
Can I change the subject ever so slightly?
Of course you can.
You've heard of Greater Sapien?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy that's got 20 grand of people's money and he hasn't given it back.
That's the guy. Essentially, he did a video within the last 24 hours, and he was playing the victim card. He was saying that people that are not in his, disagree with his belief of the heliocentric model, i.e. flat earthers, were criticizing him for what happened with this over the poles debacle, yeah? He specifically called out
giving the money back.
Well, he specifically called out and named by actual channel name Feppy Perth, myself, Nathan Oakley, and D Marble. So he basically singled us out for attack by saying that we were attacking him for what happened. Well, he's been playing the victim card, and I'll tell you for why and how he engineered this. When I specifically asked him a few questions on Twitter, which was, did he have proof? Did he have proof of the purchase of the ticket? Did he have proof of the actual receipt? And would he be willing to show, looking forward to the video showing that? He then said, yes, and no, he wouldn't be showing that evidence, right? Which led people to believe, right? Quite rightly, because he refused to say, he said that he wouldn't be sharing it with other people, just people that were that might have donated to his flights. So to me, that stank of a bit of a cover-up. Now, if you're in the truth movement, you obviously go out of your way to be very open and trustworthy with everything that you do, and you would offer that kind of information if you felt that people had a right to know. Now, people were interested and people did have a right to know, and he said that he wouldn't be sharing it with people like myself, right? So quite rightly, we responded in kind and said, well, that's a bit suspect. Other people made some videos about it. And then lo and behold, after 4 days of this, he left it for 4 days. He then did a live stream, I think it was, or a video yesterday, and he showed apparently the receipts, the wire transfer, etc., right? But he left it 4 days, and then he played the victim card and said that people were mistrusting of him. This is how people treat him. This is how people were acting about it. But he engineered that situation, because he could have literally, the day that it happened, when he said that it looks like the over the polls isn't happening, he could have put that information out there, right there and right then. But he didn't. He deliberately left that out and told people that he wouldn't be sharing that information so that people would make videos about him. And then he played the victim card.
So has he shown has he shown the ticket number now then?
He's shown a wire transfer. It wasn't very clear, I'll be honest. He did show a wire transfer, though. It's very dark, whether you can make it out or not. I only saw it this morning, but he said there's the wire transfer, so I'm assuming that it is actually showing that. He showed the proof of like an email saying that he had purchased the ticket or something in a different name, not his name that he uses on YouTube. Like, I think it's Gerard Williams or something.
Sure, but did he show the ticket number?
I'll have to recheck. Like I say, I watched it this morning. I did see that he'd brought some evidence to basically say that yes, he has actually bought it. So I've no reason to doubt his word that he's actually done that now. But what I have got a doubt, I take issue with the fact that he is playing the victim card, calling out myself and you, right, for calling him out when he said he was not going to provide this evidence for everybody. Yeah, but right? Let's remember. So of course we're going to speculate. That's what we do.
But I've only asked him for one thing, and it was off the back of a video made by Fepe Perth, which is for the ticket number. That's the only thing I asked him. I've gone into his comment section. Have you got the ticket number? That's the question I asked him. Direct question.
So
that's all I'm interested in.
But what I'm saying is, he's playing the victim card with this now.
Oh yeah, but great. Thanks for the advert.
He engineered the situation. Yeah. But he engineered this situation.
Yeah, so. Don't care. Don't care if he wants to attack me for anything. Couldn't care less. Thank you for the advert, Greater Sapien. Can I have the ticket number if you have one? Thank you very much. That's all I'm interested in.
Ticket
Thank
number,
you, Ranty.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad you've been kept on top of it, Detective Ranty.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Just keeping my ear to the ground, you know, if I hear anything and what have you, I'll let you guys know.
Indeedy. Anthony, what you got?
Let's go back onto screen share. We're on screen share, yeah?
Just let me know when you want me to present you.
I'm going to focus. I was looking for Tube Tinkerer's comment, but I found a better one from Woz. So let's go through this comment from Woz. Are we on, Nath?
Yeah.
So he says, Woz, 13 hours ago, so you can have a pressurized system next to a vacuum on a flat Earth without a lid. Really? Air is denser than nothing. Therefore, it will fall to the Earth, correct? No such thing as gravity, right? Correct. Entropy doesn't have a role here. If you say entropy does, if you say entropy does and therefore requires a lid, then you will need to add that gas pressure will equalize in a contained system, where we don't see proof of that. And then the comment, there's back and forth, and then the final comment is, he says, did you see my earlier comment? And then he says, I was referring to a flat Earth. On an endless plane, there would be no sides, so you don't need a lid on top. The air always the same. Really? Are you sure, Woz? Because I'm pretty certain that that's not true. The air always the same, so what would cause it to press down on itself? Do you have evidence of a pressure gradient in a container? Well, yeah. So here we have a video that I put up recently saying gravity requires a physical force, and it's timed at 8 minutes and 7 seconds. And in this video, you can see that there is like a tall, thin glass, and in it is a variety of different liquids. Now, liquids and gases behave the same. You get the exact same settlement in gas that you do in liquid. We know this because deodorants and anything that has pressure in it generally says you need to shake the tin well before use, because you need these things to all mix up, which is what will happen with gas. But if you let gas settle, it'll go into the layers. Now, the heliocentric model tells us that our atmosphere is layered anyway. So even flat or ball, we all accept the density of the atmosphere is actually a thing. But if you can imagine these numbers reflected different layers of density, so 1 would be the lightest, 2 would be a little bit lighter, a little bit heavier than that one, and 3 and so on was. We can then conclude that let's put numbers to pictures, and we can say, well, the top one must be the hydrogen, number 2 must be the helium, number 3 must be lithium, is it? And then 4, whatever that is, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, right the way down. So we have this layered environment where all the layers do separate. And that's exactly what we live in according to science. We live in a layered environment. So back to his question. So you don't need a lid on top. The air always the same? Well, no, because the periodic table tells us that that's not true. So what would cause it to press down on itself? Its own density. Do you have evidence of a pressure gradient in a container? Yeah, aerosols. anything that needs to be shook up is evidence and proof of a pressure gradient in a container. So there you go, Was. So do you want to come back with why you seem to be stupid? Because that is ridiculous. The air does not all weigh the same. It does separate. And that is exactly what we see in our environment. A little bit of mix-up because of the weather, but essentially we do see this. This is exactly the way we see it. So I just thought I'd put that one out there. Was being an idiot again. Stay off the whiskey, Was.
Yeah. Also, he's saying that it's got nothing on top of it. It's like, no. After about the third time of him spouting it, I was tempted to just ban the guy because he's obviously got a cognition break. I said, go and look at what Tor is. What's the value of nothing? Oh, right, it's got a hugely different value to the gas pressure, i.e. it's a much lower pressure system. So you would expect the effects of entropy to kick in. Like with my balloon example. Now, the difference between my balloon and atmospheric pressure is virtually nothing. Now, when you look at the difference between the vacuum of space and atmospheric pressure, it's a vast difference. And yet, by magic, it just sticks to the atmosphere. No. It's just nonsense, unless you can actually practically show gas pressure without a container. Till then, gas pressure requires containers. Simple. Doesn't matter about the gradient. If you've got a gradient, you've first got gas pressure. You've got a gas pressure gradient. So the first bit is the gas pressure. And in order to demonstrate gas pressure, you need a container. If you're going to assert otherwise, like the heliocentric system does, we need a practical demonstration of that. Not just a reassertion of your religious belief that that's what the world does. That's not good enough. There's plenty of practical demonstrations of contained gas pressure. So let's see some uncontained gas pressure. Let's see some gas pressure without the container.
Nathan, can you put me on screen, please, for a minute?
You're up.
Right, this is the Over the Poles Fallout Information and Revelations that Greater Sapien, and this is his receipt that apparently this wire transfer. I do have some issues with this. Now, perhaps you can help me out with this, Nathan, but what does this secondary ID issue date mean, where it says the 22nd of the 6th, 2016?
That's just the date on, let's say you had a driving licence, it would just be the issue date of the driving licence.
So this isn't a date for the receipt then, no?
Well, it says secondary ID date, so it'd be like if you've got a passport, it'd be the issue date on the passport.
Well, I wonder why he's not put in the amount of the US dollars that he actually transferred to Zing SE.
And hang on a sec, this doesn't. Is this meant? What is this meant to be? This is meant to be a receipt of the payment of $20,000.
This is the wire amount. Apparently, he transferred it to Zing SE. The amount, obviously, here, this amount is hidden. You know, we can't make that out. We don't know what it is. It's been blocked out, and I wonder why he's blocked it out. Why would he do that?
This doesn't prove that he's paid anything.
No.
What he should be showing is the money leaving his account, not the...
just the ticket number. If he's bought a ticket, he'll have a ticket number, and the administrators have got all of the names of people who were issued tickets, or at least purchased them, because they've all been allocated ticket numbers.
Right, but Nathan, do you not understand what I'm saying? Why would he be blocking out the amount of US dollars that he transferred to Zing SE? Why would he block that out? That shouldn't be... That's you know, this should not have been blocked out. It shouldn't have been. That should have been shown for everybody to see. I'm not disagreeing
with you, but I'm saying the root of the problem isn't him showing a transfer somewhere. He needs a ticket number, because then they can tie his money and his transaction to the provider of the ticket. And the way to do that is with a simple ticket number. Don't need to see any amounts paid.
Yeah,
just the ticket
I know,
number.
But listen, all I'm saying is, right, you know, when I bought the P1000, right, I showed the receipt, how much it was, everything. There was nothing hidden. Everybody saw it, right? Why is this guy hiding how much he transferred to Zing SE?
I don't... You're looking too narrow.
He could have put a down payment on it, perhaps. Maybe he paid a down payment.
Ranty, you're looking too narrow at this. You need to look at the bigger picture. This doesn't prove that any money has gone anywhere.
I know this, but what I'm saying is, this is his evidence.
This is crap quality evidence. This is not proof of a transaction of money going out on account. So basically, you want to call him out on this.
This is what he put? Is this what he put out to prove otherwise, though?
This is his proof of payment. Yeah.
This is not proof of payment.
No, because it's hidden. For a start.
Not even if it was unhidden. This is not proof of payment. Proof of payment is showing the money leaving your account. You can't show where the money goes, but you can show the money going out.
Okay, well, you have an issue with that, which is fair enough. I'm working with the evidence that he's provided, and his evidence that he's provided has blocked out the amount that he transferred, apparently, to this Zingesi.
Hello.
Hey,
so I have an issue with him blocking that out. Now, this is what I said. You know when I'm saying he's playing the victim card? He could also be setting us up for a fall in case that we call this out because it is hidden, and then he can play the victim card in another week when he does actually show the amount. No, just let me finish. But the fact that he hid it in the first place is showing dishonesty. Do you not understand? Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but that's
he should be very, very honest with everything that he's doing right now. If he's going to show stuff, don't be hiding the amount that you transferred.
Hey, are we live now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anthony, go on. What's your? I know you are. You're desperate to say something, but I really hate this. I hate this beyond. This really irks me. Why would he hide this?
Zoom in a bit more.
I don't hide anything with my stuff. I show everything. It looks like a 900. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, put it this way: the first number should begin with 2, not begin with 1.
Well, firstly, the first number is lower than the zeros. For instance,
yeah, that looks black.
If I put this line, hang on, let me do it on. Let's get rid of that.
I love it. We're doing horizon lines on receipts.
Yeah, well, we're going through the zeros at the bottom. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is line up these zeros at the bottom.
I think it's either an 8 or a 6 right after the 1.
Can you see how that first
point
number
in between? So
this first number is well low. Can you see the number 1?
Yeah, that might be an effect of the blurring, though.
It could be. Yeah, you're right. But he wouldn't have had to do. We wouldn't have to do this if he didn't hide this information. Why is he not showing all his supporters that he paid the full amount?
Because he's behaving like a scumbag. That's why.
He is. Yes, he is. And this really pisses me off because we're supposed to be honest with all our evidence, and I get called out for stuff. This is deliberately hiding evidence, deliberately hiding it.
Yeah, show the transaction going out your account, you moron. If you're going to show anything, show that. Or give us the ticket number. Or, in fact, give us both. What's so hard with it? What's the problem? Show your current account. Everybody will have a current account with a value somewhere around about 0 because nobody ever puts anything valuable in a current account. So nobody's expecting you to have 100 grand in there. But show what the value is. Let's see the money going out your account, because if I'm supposed to have bought a P1000 for £1,000 and I was put to proof, I would show the transaction of it leaving my account and then showing the receipt for what cross-relating to it, and then show the camera. But what you should be doing is showing said receipt on that date. So you've got a date here. It looks like the 22nd of the 6th, 2016. So it looks like you should be showing a transaction on that date or thereabouts to the value that matches that's on here. That would then show that you've paid. So the fact that you're doing this makes it look dodgy as that. Can you use Zingesi? Sounds like you've been on Alibaba and bought a pallet load of motorbikes or something.
No, that's the company that's handling the money for this Over the Poles expedition. So you have to pay Zing. It's like a ticket booking agency. However, hiding this amount is irrelevant. I mean, this shouldn't be hidden. You know, okay, hide your name if that's what you so wish. If you're going to hide your name, right? Well, you've already told us what your name is so why are you hiding that anyway, right? But hiding this amount.
And what's the create AU number on the left that is also blurred out?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand these tickets. This wire transfer setup on
pretty
here.
Scummy behaviour, that Greater Sapien. Pretty scummy behaviour.
This isn't honest. This isn't upfront. And
there's no
honest.
reason to hide the
amount
of dollars basically paid.
If he's going to be
whatsoever.
Yeah, because he's saying to everybody that he's paid it, right? Well, why hide the amount that you paid them? You've got one receipt. It could be, as far as I'm concerned, it could be just a down payment. It could be maybe a £2,000 down payment on it, exactly. And you'd pay the rest later on. So
No, but that's a 1. The first number is definitely a 1.
it could be.
I'm pretty damn sure of it.
But I have issues with its placement in relation to the zeros. They're on a different, you know,
No, there's an extra point in between the second number and the third one, which are blurred out. But there's a point in between. It's just that much 1,000, like 16,000, 80,000, and then probably 300.
But yeah,
Or
why hide
500.
it? Why
But it's
hide it?
definitely like at least 10,000 and something more. That's what I see. And the first number is definitely a 1 because that's just the typical print 1.
Yep.
It's been blurred out a bit.
But there's nothing in this section here. That could be, like you say, it could be a 9. But we shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to try and look into this to see what it says.
You could unblur it.
How?
Photoshop. Just crisp it up a bit, see what shape exactly comes out.
I don't think you can.
You can never do it perfectly, but you can do it a little.
No.
Give
You could only do it if you'd made the blur in the first place.
Anyway, so until I see that, what that amount is, as far as I'm concerned, this is just a worthless piece of information that he's put out. And he's let his supporters down by not being transparent about it.
There's no reason whatsoever.
I would feel like a real ass if I gave this guy money.
Chocolate. Where have you been? You didn't see it yesterday.
Say that again?
Where have you been? I didn't see it yesterday. You didn't go in yesterday, did you?
No, because I was waiting for Nathan to come on, but because he didn't have internet, I was waiting around to see if the show would come on, but I fell asleep.
Oh.
And when I woke up, I saw there were 2 shows went on. I was like,
gutted. Oh, you missed a great show, mate. You missed a great show.
Yeah, I heard it. I missed a couple of them. I missed when Jimmy came on with a voice changer.
Oh, God.
Did you see that response to that with the helium balloon?
Oh,
Yes,
that was
I
awesome.
did.
That was quality.
Yep. Yeah. I missed the whole Jimmy thing. That was hilarious.
Jimmy's
Well, most of Jimmy's appearances are pretty much the same, but in this case with the voice changer and him like being really shocked that we recognized his voice signature, that was just hilarious.
Yeah, you could just hear it was him.
And we all recognized it pretty much simultaneously.
He's been in here long
started
enough.
Addressing him with Jimmy out of nowhere. It was amazing.
The thing is, I mean, why are all the ballers not calling Jimmy out for his behavior? Because it's totally dishonest.
Because they don't care, and they think that sort of thing is all right.
So the rules
Anything
only
for the globe, you know. They think they're like the CIA or something.
Yeah, so let's have this
Everything's
one.
okay as long as you're with the globe.
Yeah, let's have this one in the context of Nathan and the alleged smacking of the child. They all became holier than thou overnight, immediately. Yet when Jimmy does what he does, no one says a word. Do the rules only apply to us? Is that how it's working? Is that the way it is?
It's called politicization.
I just don't see the point of being deliberately like this. You know, deliberately putting information out that's ambiguous. You know, when the whole point is to be trying to show yourself as being transparent and show where the funds have gone, and then you deliberately put stuff out that is blurred and hidden. This guy is a twat.
Just a big shout out to what is it? Earth is Seriously Flat for all super chats, much obliged, and a big hello to Jonathan. How you doing?
How you doing, Nathan? How's it going, guys? What's up, Arwen? What's up, Anthony? What's up?
How do?
But the guy from the ticket, what's his name again?
Greater Sapien.
Greater Sapien, yeah.
I think he's just a hit and run guy. Just got the money. He probably downpaid for the ticket, then kept the other half of the money and just is going to say, yeah, I paid the ticket. And yeah, they just left me there, and then he still has half his money. I think that's
Well,
what he's planning to do.
You guys know Mike Marshallek, aka Blue Sky Sailing on Discord?
Nope.
He has he's got the website exploringagain.com, which is a proposal to get a vessel together and use it. And it's organized pretty well. It looks great. I think he's got some details on there. I'm not sure, but he lives close to me in Hoboken. He said he's got a ticket. I don't think he's lying, but he also told me that he was planning on bringing some kind of laser gyro. He explained the whole situation. You know, some kind of, you know, I don't even know. I still think it's, you know, without access to, like, I don't even know. And don't even quote me on that.
Well, let me just.
However, I can get in touch with him. I'm going to send him a text now and see if he's got any kind of.
Well, let me tell you something about Exploring Again. Exploring Again and his website. He said he was the curator of this entire trip. Right? The curator essentially is the curator. Yeah.
That's United Airlines, isn't it?
No, he's the one that is putting the whole trip together. Him saying that he's purchased a ticket, etc., etc. He's the guy that brought up the brains behind it.
No, he's curating his GoFundMe. Exploring.
He said he was
not Flight Over the Poles.
He said he was the curator of the Over the Poles.
No, he totally would not say it. He's a curator for the website. It was his idea, and his number. You know, I think it's like 2 million is the target, which to me sounds realistic. You know, he gets all the details out there about what the vessel needs to look like in terms of what it's made of.
Okay.
I don't know much about that stuff. But
that's only going to be sufficient for a terrestrial exploration mission, because if you want to go into truly unfamiliar territory, that's 2 million's not enough. I'll tell you that.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
If you want to, like, explore this Earth realm, then yeah, you might be able to do it.
You've been there? You've been out there? That's how much it cost you?
No, it's just that I've been thinking about, like, how to get a serious expedition going in completely unfamiliar territory, and it's going to be a lot harder, because otherwise you're going to just risk getting stuck.
Well, it's all at risk. It's all at risk to get. You know.
No, but I mean,
I say
exploring new territory, and you're on a boat, and suddenly there's no way through the land. You have to get over land, for example. Yeah, then you're stuck, unless you want to walk onto the land and explore that way, and that's going to take forever. So
to say that you got 100% on that is kind of naive, irresponsible. I think there are cracks in the ice. That's how you make it past any kind of wall.
Yeah, the first one maybe, yeah, but yeah, there's a big chance that after that there might be a little bit of an ocean. But from what I've understood from previous things, is that there is a huge world-sized land mass, mostly with a bunch of rivers, and not as much an ocean type realm as it is here. So yeah.
Where did you get that information? I look every day pretty much for new Antarctica information. I got a couple of books that are dated from the 30s and 40s. I looked through Bird's journals. He's got about 15 books, not 15 books. He's got about 6 to 10 actually published books, and they're really difficult to get through. They're really dense and they're boring, and it's just navigational data over and over again. They speak in the vernacular that is the words that we don't use anymore, and it's just like airplane slang and you know, spotting. It was cool to find out that he can use the theodolite from an airplane, and that's how they figure out where they are.
Airplanes would be the most easy, of course. That would circumvent most problems. If you're going to do it on a boat, yeah. Did those journals basically say they're all islands surrounded by a sea? Or did it just describe huge land masses? Was it even said that they explored everything there was to be explored? Because I don't think so. I don't think they went all the way.
A lot of them are available on PDF, but they're really long, and a lot of it has to do with is political in nature. It's about getting the money together. It's about Rockefeller funding the operation. It's about the Astor family funding it.
Yep.
It's a lot about that, you know, the whole pageantry of it. However, I think it was 1946. There's a woman, Marie Brussel, I think her name is. She's an old-timey from news radio talk show host.
A few people join.
She talks about a lot of cool stuff, conspiracy stuff, interesting things, and a lot of her broadcasts are on YouTube. She said that it was 1946 where first time they spotted a second oasis, a second shoreline. That this was huge. That this changed a lot of things. So far, it was the biggest of the breakthroughs. To see a second, like as far as the eye could see, this was a new shoreline.
Right.
It wasn't like a crack. It was like this was something new. But you know, ever since they released that silly North Pole alien visit, obviously to just discredit.
Sorry, can I just ask a couple of questions? So someone in the chat mentioned D Marble apparently smashing the living daylights out of Great Sapien. So has anybody on the panel watched that?
Nope.
No, haven't not.
Okay, well apparently
like
there's
a nice guy.
I kind of like this discussion about the trips.
Ah, excellent. And then the second thing was about Flat Earth Perth's assertion. So Anthony and I were discussing earlier this morning. Hi, Earth is seriously flat. Good to have you. Hi, Flat Earth Perth. Good to have you. So Flat Earth Perth, let's just do a sound check with you first. See if we can hear you.
Nathan, I really want to get after this guy that's just brought up exploring again.
I hear you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure. So
Nathan, can you pop me on screen? Because I haven't got...
Sure, Ranty. But somebody who's been sort of co-collaborating with you.
Somebody sniper Ranty.
Losing panel members. Have we got a sniper in the back chat?
Who was... Okay, I'm going to snipe out the two guys that I don't know.
No, don't snipe out Perth. Don't snipe out Perth or Earth is seriously flat.
It was Chris Cross and Scotland Yard. I got rid of both of them, but I was getting...
you sure?
Yeah, I've got look in the log. Chris Cross joined. I got rid of him. Scotland Yard joined. Got rid of him, but he took Ranty out on the way out.
Okay.
Ranty be going mad right now.
If he wanted, he can get back on Skype.
Who kicked me?
I think it was Scotland Yard. Anyway, we've got... Hopefully we can dispense with this because we've got... I'm glad you and Fepe Perth are both in the same hangout, so you can discuss what you've been doing with Greater Sapien. I know you've got limited time, Ranty.
I've got limited time, but can I just share my screen?
Yeah.
Right, let me know when I'm sharing my screen, Nate.
I love it when you're all demanding, Ranty.
You're up.
I'm so... This guy that's come in that's talking about this dude, this...
Haunted House is my name, Jonathan. You can call me that.
Yeah, the guy, all right, Jonathan, that's came in that said that exploring again is nothing to do with this over the poles, etc., etc., is utter horse manure, right? The guy that owns Exploring Again, also the same IP address was registered back to another domain site called CompleteVisa.com. CompleteVisa.com is no longer registering as a URL, but I went to Wayback Machine and was able to, if I click the 17th of March 2018, and it will give me it will take me, what does it take me to? ExploringAgain.com. Yeah, all linked together with the same guy here, this Jay Aldana, who says that he's the curator of the first commercial transport flight for over 40 years, blah, 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 blah. The Polar Explorer 2018. It's all linked to the same guy, same people. They're all in it together. Every single one of them.
So are you saying they're scammers?
I'm saying that if they say that they are not linked, if you're going to say to me that Over the Poles 2018 and Exploring Again are not linked, that is a complete bold-faced lie. They were all the domains were registered within 10 days.
To go on the airplane.
All the domains were all registered within 10 days. They were all from New Jersey, right? Every single one of them was registered in New Jersey. Over the Poles 2018. Sorry?
That's where he lives. That's where he lives. That's where Mike lives.
And it's yes, this is what I'm saying. So the guy that's doing this exploring again just happens to live in New Jersey. The domain site was bought at the same time that the Over the Poles 2018 does. The guy that this J. Roberto Aldana, who is the curator of the Over the Poles 2018, is registered direct, is linked directly with the guy that's exploring again. All the domains, URLs, they're all done on what's it called? There's another domain site too. It's like flatearthresistance.com. All the name servers for the websites went through that URL. You cannot tell me they're not linked. So if this guy is just coming, and look, this page is no longer to be found. This is where he had all his information, this exploring again. He's taken it down within 3 days. Last time I checked this page here, it had all the information about him doing, going and doing.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Let me spell this out. What you're saying, Ranty, is that the website that Jonathan's talking about is directly linked to the previous scam, and you're saying that Jonathan is lying.
What I'm saying is that I know for a fact that this guy, this exploring again, who was also holding press conferences with the guy that is supposedly doing this Over the Poles 2018, all the domains are bought in the same town. They all know each other. They're all in on it. He's removing information off his page that links him to the Over the Poles 2018. He's removing it all. He's going back on himself. And there's a digital trace that traces these all back to the same area, the same IP address.
So then the question then becomes, Jonathan, do you realize that this guy is linked with the scam channel or not?
Probably not.
No, I wasn't sure. I've never heard of the scam channel.
No.
Is that Over the Poles 2018?
Yeah, that's what I want about.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I never heard of that one. I saw that it was down, but
no. But you are aware of Greater Sapien with the $20,000, right?
No, I never heard of that one.
Well, in that case, sorry, Anthony.
I mean, I heard about it today. But...
Sorry. So we've got Fepe Perth on. Hopefully, we can hear from him. He's been patiently waiting in the wings, and he's done a whole bunch of work on this.
Sure. Yeah. Fepe Perth.
Can you guys lay out what's actually being done here? Like, what is, who's pulling the wool over whose eyes, and what's the gag here? As far as I know, he said he has a plane ticket, and this is going to be the same flight pattern that was done in 1950, the Pan Am Flight 50. Then he said he can't bring devices on the airplane, and that's the last time I spoke to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether he goes,
all the Globetrotters.
Right. This is the point where we let Fe Perth talk, because Ranty's made his point. Jonathan's seemingly playing dumb at this point. Fe Perth can answer all the queries to do with what's going on with Greater Sapien, and Jonathan,
Anthony.
This is connected to the website that you're endorsing.
The Glove Earth Society is done. Let's bring about new truths and start teaching our children. I mean, forget about it. Anybody that is going to try to circumvent the Earth from north to south is an idiot, because that does not exist. Let me tell you one thing. I found out a new proof of how to debunk the glove just by the equation of time. Have you guys ever heard of the equation of time?
No offense, Earth is seriously flat. I just went out of my way for 10 minutes to try and introduce Fepe Perth. Thanks.
I'll tell you one thing. I stumble upon this equation of time that they're
Sorry, that was
trying
my
to
subtle way of
correlate.
saying, can you just concede your point for a few minutes till we get Flat Earth Perth to talk about the subject that we're actually talking about? I'm grateful for you joining, and you can talk about it, but we're literally on topic specifically about Greater Sapien and Pole to Pole.
All right, no problem.
Thanks.
Are you there, Fe Perth? This is your moment, man. Come on. I'm assuming that he doesn't realise we can't hear him.
Has he got his mic on mute?
No, he's not on mute, but I wonder you'll have to check the cog.
Oh, he said not sure if his mic's working in the chat.
That's a shame.
No, just check your settings inside the program.
No, he did say from the chat that he's got a duff mic on his laptop that may not work, so that doesn't surprise me.
Oh, well, in that case, then you may as well just play Told.
Right, totally concede then. Unless there's anything else to add about Great Sapien, Earth is seriously flat. Feel free. My bad for cutting you off.
All right, fantastic. You know, I donated money to the Greater Sapiens just to help those worshippers of the Glove Earth Society to see themselves, to come about and to jump off the spinning ball and to be part of this amazing flat Earth movement. And this is a rescue mission to all the worshippers of the Glove Earth Society. You know, we don't hate you guys like you guys hate us. We used to be globetrotters too. But I'll tell you one thing. To help you jump off the spinning ball, I stumbled upon the equation of time. There are there are several sundials all over the world, and when you check the 12 noon on every sundial, it's always different. It demonstrate that the sun slows half of the year and is faster half of the other year, the rest of the year. I'm sorry. Therefore, if anybody that supports that the Earth is spinning, then they gotta put into the equation of time. It demonstrates that the Earth is supposed to be slowing down and speeding up half of the year. How could that be possible? And nobody ever notices that we're accelerating and decelerating, and it's perfectly explained on a flat Earth that the sun actually is the one that is accelerating and decelerating as it expands on the ring and decompresses. And that is the most amazing proof. Time debunks the glove Earth notion. That's all I want to say.
Are you saying that the sun has a different angular speed in different regions?
Yes, research equation of time, and they put a graph of how time fluctuates. They put a flat line which is 12 noon, and you can see a sine wave going up and down in between that line. It shows that it's between 13 and 15 minutes. It slows down about 12 minutes, and it also accelerates another 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes the rest of the day.
No, but I want to know the original data this was concluded from, basically, which would be the angular speed of the sun. So what were the measurements of this in these different regions?
The measurements that they're doing is with sundials. All over the world, the sundials are the same. So they fluctuate. The sun accelerates or decelerates when you compare it with the mechanical, artificial 24-hour time.
But I would like to see some.
The mechanical time has nothing to do with the measure. I'm telling you the measurements right now. It's time.
No, but time is a concept. I want to know the sun's path, the angular speed of it.
That's
the only thing we can confirm, basically. Time is not a concept.
I tell you, time is not a concept, by the way, okay? Time is biological. Time, it resonates with our biological clock. If Earth clock is biological too, like our internal clock. And if you want to, I'm not going to give you the angular or everything on every single calculation that they did in this time.
Guys, question quick. Guys, what's your name? I don't want to say Earth is so seriously.
It's seriously flat. Earth is seriously flat.
Seriously flat.
You got a good voice for this. You know, it's nice. It's nice hearing someone speak fluently. Would you not say dimensions are measurements? You know, like some people say, like, oh, it exists in aliens are from another dimension, interdimensional. Would you not say like dimensions are just, you know, height, width, length? At least that's what I think. Because the measurements.
It's a original concept.
Well, time to me is always
the concept that I'm telling you about time is for you to synchronize your own circadian
I hear what you're
rhythm
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's pattern
with
cycles.
the movement of the sun and the mechanical 24-hour time is to synchronize you as a human being. When you start implementing your own circadian rhythm, which is the 20-hour.
Absolutely, I know. Yeah, man, I'm hip to that. Fibonacci sequence is also another one that plays into.
Right, and so the day has to have 72. I mean, actually 20 hours, 72 minutes each hour. That it is. We're breaking away from the 24-hour, from the spinning ball. We are basically harmonizing with this beautiful world.
You know, they used to write about this stuff. They used to write. There's a book. It's called Italic. Forgot the name of it. It was the guy Fibonacci. He wrote it, and in it has all these ways you can calculate what's going to happen based on using the Fibonacci sequence. So whatever you put into the sequence, any disruption.
We're going to round out for a 10-minute break approximately. With that, I will say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible, and of course a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do, but if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!